Welcome to the Beyond the Vines podcast, where I interview local business owners in Sonoma County to highlight small business and grow our community. I'm your host, Amy Ehlers, a mom, realtor, and Sonoma County native, and I'm excited to connect you to some amazing people in this beautiful area that we call home. Welcome back to the Beyond the Vines podcast, and thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Today's episode is really fun for me. I've been geeking out over this company, Pacaso, for a long time now. My friend Aaliyah, who I'm sure is listening, we send each other Tahoe listings back and forth all the time. So having Marnie Blanco with Pacaso here today is really exciting. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about her. Marnie is recognized as an industry innovator and real estate veteran with over 20 years of experience in the industry. Previously, Marnie oversaw industry relations for Loop that managed strategic partnerships with leading brands in real estate, along with MLSs, associations, and third-party integration partners. Prior to Loop, Marnie was the vice president of e-business for Remax LLC, leading technology innovation, product management, product marketing, training, and support for the network's broker and agent technology platforms. Marnie is born and raised in Colorado. She is married with 2 daughters. Both girls play competitive volleyball, and thus is where her family spends a lot of their time. Marnie also loves to travel and is a self-proclaimed connoisseur of New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, hashtag NZSB, which I love that. And you have to tell everybody, how many have you tried?
Oh, I'm at 161.
That is
New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
Very impressive.
Yes. Yes, I'm very particular.
I love that. That is so cool. And I also think maybe that means Pacaso needs to move to New Zealand.
We definitely need to launch.
Yeah, that needs to be launched.
And I will be
next.
heading that up.
I think that would be the right fit for you.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me, Amy. This is so fun. And I love that you've been geeking out over Pacaso. I love that.
Truly. I look at the website all the time and I'm like, okay, which one do we want to buy today?
Lots of eye candy on there.
Lot of eye candy on there. Yes. You know what I hadn't really explored until today was Mexico. I was looking at the Mexico ones.
Cabo. Yeah, and we're launching a couple of new ones there too. So keep
mind
your eye on.
Blowing. Yes. Mind blowing.
They're
gorgeous.
wonderful.
So for someone who's never heard of Pacaso, what's the elevator pitch?
Love it. So yes, Pacaso is a co-ownership model where we buy vacation homes, second homes all over the world, and then we turn them into a co-owned home with up to 8 owners per home. So you can buy an eighth, quarter, or up to a half.
Oh.
Once all those owners are in the home, they have 100% ownership of the home, and we move purely just to a property management role at that time. So we come in, we buy the homes initially, then we find the owners to basically own the home. Once we have the home, we have an interior design team that comes in and outfits the entire home top to bottom. We like to say that you could host a Thanksgiving in your Pacaso at any given time.
I love that.
It's completely thought of everything that you could possibly need, from spices to everything in the kitchen to baby gates to baby monitors, pack and plays, everything you need for a family, for friends, for an experience. And then those owners have complete ownership of the home, and they can stay there. We have a whole scheduling app that we can go into later on how that works. And it's just for their experience, for their memories, for their, it's what everybody dreams of having. When you own a second home, you typically don't stay in it that often. You're only there maybe 5-6 weeks a year. So with our model being a co-owned home, it's just a better use of the home and a better use of your investment in the home. So you're not paying for the entire thing. You're basically paying for what you're going to use in the home.
That's amazing. Amazing. I didn't realize too, I think because I'm always stalking the website where it says an eighth, an eighth, an eighth. I didn't realize you could buy a half.
Quarter
you could buy
up to
a quarter.
A half.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yes.
Very, very cool. So what exactly does someone own when they buy a Pacaso ownership?
So the way it works is when we purchase the home, we put the home into an LLC. An LLC holds title, and then the owners actually own the LLC. This is for a lot of good reasons. Makes it easier for management of the co-owned structure of our model. But particularly if the owner wants to resell their share, it's very seamless, very easy. So a lot of people right away when they hear about Pacaso, they think timeshare.
Totally.
Ick.
Yeah,
dirty
totally
T word.
thought
We
that.
don't like that. We're so different from that because they actually own the asset. They don't own the right to use the asset like a timeshare. They actually own the asset because they own the home.
Got it.
So being that the home sits in an LLC, those owners can move their equity in and out. They want that liquidity basically. So they can say, yep, I'm ready to resell. When they do, they work through us. We go and resell it just like we sold the share the first time. We work with them on a price. And they get the equity of it and the upside of it. We don't guarantee an upside and equity of it. Of course, when we sell it, we don't allow our owners to rent or lease their homes. Like I said, it's really for their experience, for their building memories. They can gift it to family and friends if they would like, but that equity is theirs. And so that's the true ownership. It's like owning your own home. but just the portion.
I love that. I mean, like any purchase in real estate, right? Like it could go up, it could go down.
Exactly.
Probably want to hold on to it for a while so that it's up. Yeah, that's amazing. Definitely different from a timeshare in that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. So how many people typically own one home?
So because we can do an eighth, a quarter, or a half, you can have anywhere from 2 to 8 owners per home. Most of our ownership is an eighth or a quarter. I think we have a handful of people who own halves. It depends because we're in about 40 different markets throughout the U.S. and then also Cabo, London, and Paris as well. It's interesting when you look at the buyers who are buying over in London or Paris. They're the ones who are like a quarter owner or maybe a half owner because they want to stay longer in the home.
That makes sense.
So based on how much ownership you have of the home is how you can use the home. So I can kind of just talk a little bit about how that works. So per 1/8 ownership, you can always be holding 6 days at any time in the home. You can stay anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks at a time, and you can book it up to 2 years out.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you're a quarter owner, you can stay a month at a time. If you're a half owner, you can stay 2 months at a time. So that's really where people need to decide how long and what's the duration, the typical duration they like to stay in the home. A lot of our owners, we call them drive owners, that they can just drive to their Pacaso.
That's why I look at Tahoe.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. We have so many people from this area going to our Tahoe homes. And they like that because it's a little bit more flexible. You might want to go for a long weekend. It's not like a 2-month experience that you're looking for. But people with our London and Paris homes, they like that longer time. And vice versa. We have a lot of owners that are international that buy over here in the U.S.
Interesting.
Particularly like in our Miami market. That's very popular. We have a lot of folks from London, et cetera, who own down there. So it just kind of depends on the market. But once you have that per 1/8 ownership, within those 6 days, you can always be holding a holiday or a peak season time. So a lot of our markets have, peak season. Here in Napa, you're kind of a year-round. Sonoma area.
You can come anytime, and it's pretty.
But you can look at the Palm Springs area, right? That has a very high peak season. So within those reservations, we build logic and intelligence into our scheduling app, which is called Smart Stay.
Okay.
Built by Pacaso. It's proprietary to Pacaso. And the logic and intelligence built in there basically says within those 6 days that you always have holding, and it's kind of rolling. Like, let's say you use 6 and you come and use one and check out and you only have 5 reserved, you can go book another one. So you can always be holding 6.
Okay.
Within those 6 days, though, you can always be holding one holiday or one peak season time.
Okay.
And then once you use it, then you can book another one. So say, for example, I just got back from the mountains. We have a ton of homes in the Colorado mountains. That's where I live.
Yeah.
And people love going there for 4th of July. So you go up for 4th of July, you stay in your home, you check out, and happens that Christmas is open. You can go book Christmas right
because
away.
You've already used 4th of July.
Because you've used one. You just can't sit on multiple
holidays,
peak season or holidays at the same time.
That makes sense.
It makes it fair and equitable for our owners so that you can't squat on all the good times and then everybody gets their fair share of the scheduling, which has been really, really popular with our owners. Originally, when we started the company, we're about 5.5 years old.
Wow.
A lot of our original owners kind of helped build a lot of the intelligence into it, saying this is what works for us, this is how we like it. And so it works quite well for all the owners.
So when you say they can hold 6 days, so let's say I own an 8th in Tahoe, but I want to book 2 weeks. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah, so you can say up to 2 weeks at a time.
Up to 2 weeks.
And there's even a little bit of flexibility built in. Let's say you had a home in Tahoe.
Right.
We're going to get you one, Amy.
We are going to.
Yes.
And Aaliyah, too.
Perfect.
She's going to listen in on this.
Aaliyah, we got you. So you can say you booked 2 weeks and you wanted to stay. And then you, a week before you go in to stay, you see, oh, wait, there's 2 dead days in between your stay and maybe another person's stay because you can see the whole calendar. You could tack on those extra days.
Totally. Okay.
And so we try to make it really flexible to make sure that our owners are getting what they need.
Yeah, and getting the maximum amount that they can. That makes sense. Great.
Exactly.
Oh, that's super helpful. And so owners cannot rent out their time, right? Could a family member use it or not even a family member?
Absolutely. You can gift it to family or friends.
Got it.
So much so that when you do that, you can register them for the stay.
I see.
They'll get our Smart Stay app and access to it just like they were the owner. So they have access to all the home information, anything that they need to know about the area, just to make sure that their stay is just as enjoyable as if they were the owner.
Oh, that's cool. So on the app, it's not just where you're booking. It's got your check-in information and things about the area.
All your access codes, everything about the home, etc. In addition, what's also a part of the app is we do allow our owners to swap their homes.
I have heard this because I know someone that swapped with France, maybe?
Probably with our Paris home. That's a very popular swap.
Yes.
Yes. And so what we have done is we've also built an intelligence into the app so that they can say, you know what, maybe I own a home in Palm Springs. And Palm Springs, our share prices go anywhere from about $300,000 in the Palm Springs area for 1/8 up to $2.8 million in Lake Aspen.
Yeah.
So that's a very different type of share if you own a $300,000 share versus a $2.8 million share.
Correct.
But it doesn't stop people from swapping. So what you can do is you can always throw your home into the swap pool.
Okay.
And you can basically earn credits that then you can start swapping to anywhere else you want to go.
Wow.
So maybe Palm Springs goes to Aspen, Aspen goes to Paris, Paris goes to Miami.
Wow.
And it's just basically this pool of swap. And that has become incredibly popular
I'm
with
sure.
our owners. Because they love two things. One, they love that they own something that's theirs. Like all of our homes have lockers and private spaces in it.
I was going to ask you that. Cara and I were actually talking about that before.
Yes.
Okay, so you have like a locker or a space to store your items.
Yes. So that when you get there, you have your stuff.
I love
Especially
that.
like our Colorado mountain homes. They love to store their skis, boots, all of their equipment because you don't want to travel with that. So we try to make it really feel like it's your home. But everybody loves to explore. Everybody likes to see something different. And they know the caliber of our homes. So they love the idea that they can swap their home into another experience.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Oh, that answered the locker question. That's great. Also, you keep saying Palm Springs, and that is another area I would absolutely purchase in.
It's wonderful. And we have so many awesome homes in Palm Springs.
Oh, I actually forgot about that, and I don't think I've stalked that part of the website in a while. I've been kind of stuck on Tahoe, but I did used to look at the Palm Springs ones a lot because it's far for us, but I mean, we've definitely driven there, and we can fly there like that from our airport locally. So
makes it easy.
In Santa Rosa. So yeah, amazing. Okay. And I love that you could also have like friends and family stay. So obviously you're not putting it on Airbnb, but you can like have friends and family as long as you're registering them.
Yeah, and when we purchase our homes, we have an acquisitions team that takes care of all of that. They really are looking for homes that serve families, serve, people. Our typical buyer is probably, late 40s, early 50s, maybe empty nesters or soon to be empty nesters. I am going to be one in 4 weeks. I can't even imagine this
are you
right
going to make me cry?
I make myself cry.
Oh, gosh.
But I think about it all the time because now I'm looking like, how do I get my family to come back together? And that's what people want. What these people like is the experiences of friends and family.
Yeah.
And a lot of times too, they know these homes and these markets even better than we do. They're ones that they've been traveling to forever, like you going to Tahoe.
Totally.
And they just want something that's their own. They don't want to have to, have an Airbnb or a hotel.
And know what to expect. I'm assuming when they get there, that's a big thing for me. I tend to like rebook the same Airbnbs or rebook the same hotels. Yeah. Yeah, because we know what to expect and what to plan on and what's near it. And
you have all your favorite places, your restaurants, your market.
Yep. That's amazing. It's funny because I did just book today a Tahoe house on Airbnb, and I was like, I don't know what restaurants are near this one though, or like and I almost got like anxious about it. I'm gonna have to venture out. I don't know this like area, so that's funny. I love that. So and I also love to, like, we talked about the different price points, like, but I do think like it's important to know. Of course, there's the ones up to 2.8 million for your share, but there's also some I've seen in the mid twos, for an eighth. And so it depends on where you're looking and the house, I assume. But also for anyone that's like maybe a grandparent or somebody that has a lot of family or multiple grandchildren, you've also got some really good size homes too.
Yes, and that's always the thing.
Yeah.
Like we typically try to make no less than 3 bedrooms, prefer 4 or more.
Totally.
So they have that space.
Yep. I love that. So can you walk us through the buying process just kind of from beginning to end? Somebody's on the website, they find the house they like, then what?
Yeah, so we have buyers come to us from a few different ways.
Okay.
One, they can come to us direct through Pacaso.com. A lot of buyers come through us through their agent.
Correct.
Through folks like you.
Yep.
But once they come to us, it's a very, very quick process. It's not like buying your traditional home because we've already purchased the home. We've already done inspections, disclosures, all of that stuff has already been done like a typical transaction. Yeah. So then when you buy with us, it's very streamlined. Especially if you're an all-cash buyer, you could close, be done in that house in 2 or 3 days.
Oh, I love
it's
that.
It's that fast.
Wow.
We do offer financing, so we handle that as a part of the process. Yes,
that was one question I had.
You can finance up to 70% of the home, and it does go through us. You won't find a mortgage company that will handle a product like ours. We have built our internal financing to handle that, competitive rates, et cetera. But I'd say probably about half of our buyers are cash buyers and half of them finance.
Great.
But depending on what you want, then it's signing a couple of agreements. It's one called a membership interest purchasing agreement.
Okay.
And then another one that's an operating agreement that basically puts you in as an owner on the LLC. So it's very streamlined. It's very quick. And I think that's what people love, especially what they love is when they do buy overseas, when they buy a London home, a Cabo home, Paris home, it is equally as quick.
That's amazing.
Which is confusing for a lot of people. Like when you buy internationally, you're not sure what's the ownership structure, what's the tax policies,
Totally.
It becomes a very difficult transaction. But when you purchase through Pacaso, it's very streamlined, very quick.
That.
Yes.
Very cool. That's a great reason for an overseas purchase to kind of go this direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then everything's also managed for you because we manage the whole home.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine owning a home in Paris?
No.
And, like, who's
the
going to help
pipers
taking care of it, right?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know.
Totally. Yeah.
So, it makes it an experience. Like when we started the company, the whole goal was to make second home ownership possible for more people and enjoyable for more people.
I love that.
So we had a whole pool of people that, probably has gone to Tahoe many times. You drive around, you think, oh God, I would love to have one of these homes.
Yes.
And then you pull up the price and you're like, ooh,
Not going to happen.
not going to happen. Not going to happen. So now you have the possibility of it, and you're using it for the time you want. But particularly like when we started to launch on the East Coast over in like the Miami area, et cetera, we started getting a lot of buyers that could easily afford the $10 million home, the $12 million home. But at the same time, they knew they weren't going to use it all the time. So is that the right way to use their investment? But then they thought too, if I'm only going to use it, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks a year, how am I going to maintain it, everything? And because we do that, so we make it possible for more people, and now it's more enjoyable.
Yep.
You're not showing up to your second home thinking, I've got to mow the yard, I've got to fix the refrigerator, I've got to paint. Everything is taken care of for you. We have home managers in each one of our markets that take care of the homes. That's their whole job, is to make sure that home
that's a cool
is
job.
pristine for the owners. Yes.
Yeah.
And, just making sure that their asset is always well taken care of.
And so when you say that, so cleaning in between, making sure if the refrigerator goes out during the stay, somebody's there to fix it or something like that. What about like bigger items? Like this house needs a new roof. Like how does that come into play?
Perfect question. So when we purchase the home, we do a couple different things. The whole home is purchased, then we bring in the design team and outfit it like I know.
The designs are phenomenal.
Our design team is wonderful. What we do at that point in time, then we take that whole home price plus the design work, and that becomes the total price of the home.
Got it.
We mark that up anywhere from 10 to 20, 25%, depending on the market, home, et cetera. Divide that by 8, and that's the share price.
Got it.
Out to the initial people who own the home. At the same time, we put a budget in place for what's it going to take to operate that home.
Almost like an HOA kind of. Yeah.
Kind of, yep. And so it's a monthly operating expense.
Got it.
And that could be anywhere from $1,000 a month to $3,000 a month, depending on, the amenities of a home. Does it have a pool? Does it have a pickleball court? What are the grounds we have to take care of, et cetera? But the majority of that cost is your taxes, insurance, utilities, because just like you'd pay in your normal, primary home. And so in there, though, is also all of your maintenance, your cleaning, your property management, and even a reserve fund.
Got it.
So to your question, if there's a big ticket item, a roof needs to be changed, then we've already kind of allocated
for that.
money for that.
Great.
Now, that doesn't mean that we might ever have to change that cost.
Totally.
Yeah. So we're very, very transparent on a quarterly basis. Our operations team provides our owners financial statements that basically say, here's exactly how your money is being used. Sometimes if we have an overage, they could even lower your monthly cost because if it's getting too much. If it's under, they might have to increase it to make sure that we have breathing room for there. Typically, it's your taxes and insurance going like this that change those costs. But again, now you're only paying for an eighth of it or a quarter of those costs. You're not paying for the entire home, especially when you're not using it.
Yep. That makes total sense. Okay. Yeah. That's great. Super helpful. So what types of homes does Pacaso typically purchase and then sell?
Yeah, so we look for very turnkey homes. They typically are, I would say, about 2 to 3 times median home value. They're extremely updated or they're new. We don't do a lot of, we don't want to do any type of development work or renovations or anything like that. So we're looking really for these modern, updated homes. They are very true to the market that they're in. So in Palm Springs, you're going to see the mid-century moderns.
Totally.
You go to the Colorado mountains, you're going to see the quintessential mountain homes.
Yep.
And so we're very, very true to the area, but the insides tend to be very modern.
Yeah.
Very updated. What you would call like a toothbrush house.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love that. Very cool. What kind of amenities do you see in a lot of these homes?
Yeah, so we try to make sure that, first of all, when we're shopping, part of the process, excuse me, is our not our HOAs, our acquisitions team goes through and goes through like the community,
right?
To make sure what kind of amenities can we include in the home. And so they will include, like for our Cabo homes, they might have a beach home or a beach club access.
That's cool. So being able to use that community's beach club.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly. So we try to make sure we pull in as much as we can. Now, the homes themselves, like I said, are completely outfitted. A lot of them have pools, hot tubs, golf carts.
So
that's
cool.
always the popular one.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the golf cart.
Everybody wants a golf cart.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I think almost they all come with them now. But sometimes, which is interesting, let's say the owners get a home and it doesn't have a hot tub and they want one, or it doesn't have a golf cart and they want one. What we do is we facilitate a kind of like a voting process among the owners. And depending on what the request and the ask is, it's about 75% of the owners have to say yes, and then we'll do it, and then we'll work that expense in to their fees to cover the cost of it.
Great.
If it's a very, very big ticket item, like you want a whole brand new swimming pool, 100% of the people have to say yes.
That makes sense.
So we have basically that structure worked out because our owners don't know each other by nature.
They don't generally communicate on the app or anything like that. That's probably better, I assume.
It was. And when we first started, we kind of like let them know who they were. There was some interesting stories about how that did not go over very well.
Got it.
One in particular, we had a gentleman, an owner who happened to be an art curator. And he said, as a gift to this house, I would love to just provide the art. And we're like, oh my gosh, that's fabulous. Please, yes. Well, the other owners didn't know that. The other owners came in. They did not like the art, as you know. Art is very subjective.
Totally.
And that did not go over well. They all started to try and change that. So we're like, you know what? We are not going to introduce them anymore.
Nope.
But they get kind of creative and tricky sometimes. They'll like
leave notes
like in the silverware door.
Hilarious.
Like, hi, this is Suzanne. We were here this week. Hope you have a great. If you ever want to contact me, here's my information. But it's interesting because we do have. We're kind of in this. We kind of did learning, right? We said, everyone can know each other. Then we're like, ooh, no, that's not good. But now we're kind of starting to look and hear from our owners is, a lot of times they're like-minded people. Yeah. And they want to have like a community of people. So we're trying to figure out what is the balance to make those introductions and, connections.
Interesting. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I almost wonder, like even like a guest book, they don't put contact information, but they put notes or something to each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. That's hard. It's a can of worms.
Yes, very much so.
That's really interesting. So when somebody decides that they want to sell their share, because I know, again, going back to like the difference with a timeshare, right? Like timeshares I know are difficult to get out of. Those timeshare resale sites obviously have them very cheap because there's a lot of people trying to sell them. Like what happens if you're trying to sell your Pacaso share?
So typically when you come in as an owner, we say that you need to wait 1 year or until all the shares are sold.
That makes sense.
Because if we're selling the initial shares, we don't want to compete against our owners.
Totally.
Because they get to pick the price. They get to say, okay, this is what I want it to be. So our owners, like I said, they'll work through us. We'll work with them on data and et cetera and what we think that they could price it for. Ultimately up to them. Some of our owners, though, and this is something we're starting to get into more too, say, I would like to work with an agent. And we will then partner with that agent to help them represent that owner.
Got it.
Again, it's not a typical transaction, so the agent won't necessarily be doing the transaction, the agreements. Or
and marketing, I assume
they can do marketing.
Oh,
they can do so many things. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're really starting to work on that to give our owners flexibility.
Great.
So when they decide that they want to go sell, we want it to be a seamless and easy process for them. Like timeshares, they always say easy to get in, hard to get out. We want it easy in, easy out.
Totally.
It's their asset, their liquidity that we need to protect.
Great. I love that you kind of point out like just like a normal realtor would, like you're giving them the data. This is where we see it selling, but it's up to you, right? Just like any resale. So that's amazing. Yeah, that's a big difference. Wonderful. So, and they could potentially build equity as well.
Of course.
Just like a normal
Yeah, I
purchase.
would say, because we're about 5.5 years old right now, we're starting to see more resales. I would say we're around the 10% upside. Every market, every home is different, of course.
5 years,
But for right now, they're seeing some upside.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. And I would imagine, although maybe not if they're trading like internally, but the option to be able to have like, okay, I have an eighth share in this Tahoe home, and I also have an eighth share in this Palm Springs home, and like, and I'm spending, however many days here, and then my regular home, and then I'm going to trade and I'm going to go to Paris, know? So like, I do see a lot of that, like repeat.
We do, and we
buyers.
Actually, we call them our collectors program because they're collecting
Picassos.
Yes. So as I said, when we first started seeing a lot of folks who could afford the whole home, but chose, that wasn't a good use of their investment. We see them buy multiple Picassos.
Totally.
So they have one in Miami, they have one in Aspen, they have one in Cabo, and then that way they can kind of sprinkle their time out.
I love
that. A lot of times they'll do that, and then they'll say, okay, we like this one best, and then they'll go buy another share. They'll wait till one of the owners, they'll have an eighth, and they'll wait till one of the owners goes to sell. Back to the resale process, we do give all the owners first right of refusal. So they get 5 days first right of refusal. Yeah. So then a lot of times that's how we sell resell the share, because an existing owner wants more time, more access to the home.
Can they even like, let's say I own an eighth in a Pacaso, and my I don't have an adult daughter now, but at some point I'll have an adult daughter. Like, could I say, but my daughter would like to purchase this eighth or something?
Yeah, And we actually have a lot of folks who even purchase in an LLC because they might have a sister and a brother who own the LLC, and then they can own a share together.
Very cool.
Or they each, purchase their own. So we're very flexible in the ownership.
Great, that's great. Yeah. What about? And that kind of made me think about that. Could they be like a part of a trust? Like, could I have my Pacaso home under my trust? Okay.
Yes,
very cool. Very cool. Yep. So if I were to like, let's say I purchased a share in Pacaso, is it more of like a timeshare office that we're doing this, or is this more of like a title company feel like I'm actually buying a home?
More like you're buying a home, but again, the agreements are so simple. They're not... You're not doing a bunch of title work. There's no escrow. There's none of that because it's already been done. So that's why it's really streamlined and quick, and that's what people actually love about it.
Yeah. They're not one less stop.
Exactly.
Do they have to have like a notary and everything, or is this something they can DocuSign from wherever they live?
Yep. Oh my goodness. Wow. We have the best. I have to remember where they were. Shoot, they were somewhere in the Caribbean, and we had an agent refer us a client, and they were on a boat for 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah. And they bought their Pacaso from their boat in the Caribbean.
That's a good way to end your Caribbean trip, because I'm always sad when a trip ends to be like, well, but now we have a Picasso home.
And I'm going to go check this one out. Yeah.
That is
they bought
amazing.
It sight unseen, everything, all from their boat.
Yeah, I don't know that I would need to see. Do people come tour the homes? I don't know that I would need to see.
They do, but we have a decent amount, that do sight unseen. I would say a good 20% are sight unseen.
Yeah.
We try to, of course, we have a sales team. So once you connect, like whether you connect directly with us or whether an agent brings us the buyer, the sales team will connect first with the agent and say, tell me a little bit about your client. And then if not, they just go directly to the client. But they can do virtual walkthroughs. They will go live into the home and walk you through. I don't know why it is. Every time I see somebody tour a home, they want to open the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah.
So like Absolutely. They want our sales team to open the refrigerator. We can do that.
I love that.
Yeah. So, but a lot of them, just do, the virtual stuff. We obviously have, all the Matterports and all the videos and photos and everything out there. So everyone's just a little bit different. A lot of times, though, they might be there on vacation. They're like, hey, can we pop
Not ready
in?
to leave yet, too.
Yeah.
And
then that's, they kind of do a little quick walkthrough and see, what they could have.
A quick closing, too, to be like, oh.
Yeah.
We have 5 more days left of our stay. If we pay cash, we can actually just come in here. We'll just move our stuff over. That is very cool. You've mentioned that realtors can help.
Yes.
So can you kind of walk us through that? Like, if I have a client that's interested in a Pacaso home, which I definitely think that this would be a good fit for a lot of my clients, how would that introduction go? A referral form? Do I call you? How does that work?
Yeah, so for agents, we it's a kind of an education thing. Like, here's how we work with them. So we tell them first and foremost, go to Pacaso.com and you can just sign up there as an agent. And
which I think I have a while ago because I stalked the website.
I think you did too. Because I actually sign all the referral agreements.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So when you do that, though, you get a dashboard set up and you do get a referral agreement. Okay. And it's just a DocuSign that comes through. We pay a 3% commission on the share price.
That's amazing.
And as an agent, you don't really actually do anything.
Right.
Because you're just referring your client to our sales team. Our sales team will handle everything. But within that dashboard, you can submit your referrals in there and then also track, like, are they closed? Are they pending? What salesperson are they assigned to, et cetera. Additionally, on the site, we give you every type of marketing asset you need to be able to promote Pacaso to your clients.
I love that.
So social media flyers, blog posts, email scripts, texting scripts, just to get the conversation going.
Great.
We don't want agents. We don't need agents to know every single in and out. That's what our sales team is for.
Totally.
I always tease. I'm like, just refer them to our sales team, make them work for it.
Yeah.
Make them
do
the heavy lifting. And then basically, though, we want to provide you, though, the tools and resources to be able to, introduce Pacaso to your clients. But then additionally, in your dashboard, you have a unique referral link. And that unique referral link can help you generate new business.
Got it.
So we tell people, here's something kind of actually unique about Pacaso as a real estate company versus others. We invite agents to take any of our listings and market them as their own.
Oh, I love that.
They can have our photos, our videos, our content, take everything off of our site, market it as your own, say you're a preferred Pacaso agent because you've signed up with us. Anybody who comes to you as a buyer, you simply refer them to us, and then they're connected to you and you get the commission for it.
Very cool.
So we try to make it really, really simple because we know you and agents like yourself are like local experts in their area, your neighborhood, your community, et cetera, and you should continue to do that. But this is a super easy way to broaden your business because you can refer clients to any of our homes worldwide.
Wow.
We pay a 3% commission on it, and we give you all the tools and resources to make it easy for you to promote it.
That's wonderful.
So, go to our site, find a Tahoe home, take the photos, throw it out on social media and say, hey, have you ever thought of owning this home? Here's the price. Here's my unique referral link. When they click on that unique referral link, they come to us. No matter what they do on the site, they're tied to you. So maybe they start looking tomorrow because you posted something, but they don't buy till next February or March. Still your client. You get paid.
What if they purchase, tomorrow in Tahoe, and then 2 years they also purchase in Palm Springs? Do they stay connected to you, or do
they stay connected to you, and you get a 1% on all?
That makes sense. Yeah,
additional purchases.
That's great. Well, and I also love too, like you're saying, like pass it on to the sales team to do the heavy lifting. I think that's the best, anyways, because that's why when I have a client interested, like I have a client closing in Milwaukee in a week, right? And I'm not obviously going to help them with that sale. I know literally nothing.
Yep.
I actually didn't know there was a lake there. They're probably going to laugh when they hear this. And so I don't know anything about that. Like I'm not even going to take on a sale, 2 hours from me because I don't know that market and I'm not going to be the best guide for you. Right. So I'm going to refer that out. So, so it would be something similar to that where like I don't know the Lake Tahoe market, even though I go online and geek out all the time. I don't know the market.
We're waiting for you.
Right? I'm coming. I'm going to do someday. I'm going to have a collection of Pacaso someday.
I love it.
But so it's similar to that in that way where I would be referring it out because I don't know the market, but I do know.
And our sales team knows the market. They know the homes in and out. They know the Pacaso model. They know the scheduling rules. They know every detail about everything, and so that they can really serve your clients. And
That's
of course,
great.
we keep you in the loop. It's your client, and we want to make sure it's a good experience for them.
That's amazing. I love that. So what first attracted you personally to Pacaso? Because you've been in the industry a long time.
I have. That's a great question. So I have had the privilege of working with both of our co-founders, Austin Allison and Spencer Raskoff, since oh goodness. Yeah, when you read my bio, I was like, oh wow, that's a lot. I'm kind of old. Since
Not
like
at all.
2005, 2006.
Wow, very cool.
So I know both of them very, very well. A lot of trust and faith in them. And the product is just cool. It's cool.
Is.
So my background, as you noted, I was at Remax. I did technology, all our tech there. I moved to .loop and I started, that's a technology company, but then I took on industry. So I learned all the other brands. I knew the Remax world, but I didn't know the other world outside of it. So then I married that with brands and technology. And now this is fun because I'm in a totally different product.
Yeah.
I still know all the brands. I know the industry. I know how all the workings of everything goes. And so it's just fun to educate agents. That's my job, is really to work with agents and brokers, across the U.S. to say, here's an option for you to grow your business. And it's an easy thing to do, something that makes you look valuable to your customers, to your clients, because you're giving them, additional options. And I always tell them, I'm like, you know what? Go ask them. Have you ever thought of owning a second home? What are they going to say? No.
Right.
And then at least you had a reason to reach out to them, right? Agents always want a new reason to reach out to their clients, new content. So it's been fun to be a part of that education process throughout the industry. We still have a ton of education to do. So thank you again for letting me be here. And educate everyone. But it's such a cool product. And it's every time somebody talks about it, they just get excited. And it's not like, you're not like trying to fix a website or fix a transaction tool or something like that. You're talking about something that's
vacation
really fun.
home. Yeah. I love that. Also, I think from like the agent perspective, it's another way to serve our clients, right? Like I don't think most of my clients know about Pacaso. And to be able to teach them about this opportunity is really cool.
A lot of people dream about it and they never think it's possible. And
Definitely.
It's such a better way to own a vacation home.
Very cool. Very, very cool. What's the most incredible Pacaso home you've ever toured?
Ooh, I've actually gotten to stay in a couple of them.
Oh, that's so cool. Perks of the job.
It is. But a lot of times I'm by myself. Then I'm
this is kind of giant.
Yeah, I'm kind of by myself. And this was one of those. We have a home in Cape Cod. We name all of our homes. So I never know the address, but it's called Fox Hill.
Oh, cool.
And it's about 11,000 square feet. It's ginormous. And here was the coolest part about the home. Not only is it beautiful, it's right on the water, has a dock, the whole thing. I came in pretty late one night, and another one of our sales girls was with me, so there's two of us. I don't think I could stay in 11,000 square feet by
yourself. That sounds almost like creepy.
A little bit. But we came in pretty late, and it was pretty dark. And we, got a lay of the land of the home, but basically went to bed. And we woke up the next morning, had no idea what we were driving into, what the surroundings were, what the house was, the water. It was just beyond magnificent. It just gave you this feeling, like right away, both of us were like, oh my God, we want all of our friends and family here. Like it would just be like the ultimate vacation. And it's like a true vacation. It's not like a trip.
Totally.
You're taking a vacation.
Yep. I love that you said that, the difference between that.
Very much different.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Very cool. If you could own one Pacaso home anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I had noted I'm soon to be an empty nester. So mine would be really close to home. It'd probably be like Vail or Breckenridge. I live in Denver, so it's just a couple hours from me. Because I want my kids to come home, and we know those areas, we like them. And it would just be such a great gathering place. And so that's the goal. Hopefully, I have it one day. I, as you mentioned in my bio, both of my girls play competitive volleyball. My youngest one's leaving for college in 4 weeks. She's not going to play in college, but my older one does still play in college. So we're still very busy in that. So when that life settles down, I'm ready to bring them back.
Yep. Oh, I love that. And it would be similar to like me buying in Tahoe, right? Because it's like a place that probably holds memories for you that's going to bring them home.
And especially with your girls at the age they are.
Totally.
They would grow with their own memories.
Totally.
That would be such a fantastic experience for them.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Also to not play volleyball anymore. Are you okay? I know how hard that can be. Like
that is
when a kid's done with their sport that you've supported them their whole life.
Yeah, it's very, very tough. It's tough. I think she, everyone loves to brag on their kids.
Totally.
She's very easy to brag on because she was a really, really good player. So she could have played in like a D2 school, but she's only like 5'8". That's really short in volleyball world.
I'm real jealous of that 5'8".
I know. I'm like, I think 5'8" is fantastic. Not in the volleyball
world.
And she's so funny. She goes, no, I want a big school with big football, big basketball, and I want to be a sorority girl. I was like, oh, okay. Well,
she's trying
good to have priorities.
Yeah. You know what? And that's so cool that she knows that that's what she wants her experience to be.
And she felt good about that change. So then I felt good about it.
Good. Okay, good.
And she can go play club or intramurals.
Well,
she'll
great
still have
point.
fun.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's so amazing. Yeah, I always feel like they get so dedicated to their sport, and to see that end is hard.
It is,
as a
for
parent.
many years. Year round.
Yes.
Year round.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. My older one, like I said, still plays in college. She plays sand volleyball, beach volleyball.
That's so cool.
So we still get our fix.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. So at the end of the day, and at the end of like this conversation, I feel like Pacaso isn't just selling like a house; it's selling an experience. Do you have any like memories that you've heard from homeowners that really like stick out to you?
Oh my goodness, there's so many, so many. One of the sweetest ones ever was somebody bought a share in Hawaii. Or no, they didn't buy a share. They have, it might be Tahoe.
Hold on. Is there a Hawaii share?
There is.
Stop it.
Yes, we have a couple homes.
How did
in
I not
Hawaii.
know this?
And
what islands? Do you remember?
Well, we have one on Maui, and then we have one on the Big Island.
Oh my gosh.
Maui is sold out, but the Big
Okay,
Island is
okay.
still open right now. Definitely take a look at that.
You lost me on that. I got distracted.
So this was the cool story that just came in, is that they had a home in Tahoe and they swapped for the Hawaii home.
Wow.
They did a swap. And when she told her father, he's like, her mother and father have traveled to every single state in the U.S. except Hawaii.
Stop.
So they went to 49 states and 50. He goes, I could have never afforded to go to Hawaii. And she swapped, and now they get a full week in an amazing home. Yeah. I think they're doing like 10 days, actually.
Wow.
And he just was, her father was just beside himself.
Oh my gosh.
And so the stories like that are so cool and so fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. That makes me want to cry.
It does.
For sure.
It kind of gives you chills a little bit.
Wow, that is so cool. I love that. Where's Pacaso headed next?
Great question. We definitely want more international operations. So we're looking at, places like, probably I would say Tuscany is going to be next, Madrid, Spain area, Portugal. It all kind of depends on the demand, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little bit of a balance. We love to expand fast, but we can't go buy a bunch of homes, put them on our books if we don't have buyers for them.
Totally.
So
I do think, though, from what I hear, at least from clients in Sonoma County, and maybe because like Sonoma County, it's not that much, I don't know. We have a similar vibe. Spain, Portugal, those are like the areas you're hearing from people here that they would like vacation homes in.
And we're hearing that quite a bit.
Yep.
So international expansion is important to us.
Great.
Second, we are actually launching 2 new products. The first one is called Infinity by Pacaso. And this is expanding that swap idea even bigger than it is today. So what we've done is we have gone out and found, I think we're a little over 100 homes right now of people who own their whole home. And maybe it's even their 3rd, 4th, 5th home.
Wow.
They continue to own it. It's not a Pacaso, but they can have a membership in Infinity by Pacaso, throw their home into the swap.
Wow.
And now they can swap to any other Pacaso home. Pacaso owners can swap to their homes.
That's amazing.
And their homes these are like epic homes, like in Ibiza,
Wow.
Dubai, Morocco, places that, just basically expand our footprint like exponentially overnight. So that has been very, very popular.
Idea.
And people love it. And then we have another one too called Pacaso Explorer that we're launching. And that's more of like a fund that you can invest in. It's $100,000 for 10 years. You get 1 week per year in whatever homes are a part of this fund.
Wow.
So it's just, you're basically guaranteeing yourself a vacation. And then at the end of that 10 years, the whole idea is that we liquidate the fund and you get your investment back plus some.
I love that.
And so there's some other companies.
So it's an actual investment, not like a timeshare.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. And you get the use of the homes too. And there's some amazing homes in these funds as well. So
that's cool.
Those 2 new products, we're trying to just expand the reach of all the homes and all the owners of what they can do. Lifestyle of how people own things is just different these days.
Yeah.
It's not the traditional ownership of how we used to do it.
Definitely.
And they like that flexibility. They
That's
like that
so
idea
cool.
of that.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything I might have missed that you'd like to share?
I would just say if people are interested, come to Pacaso.com and it's Pacaso.
Somebody just asked me that, so it's funny.
That's good. Yeah. There's a reason we named it.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody would love to own a Pacaso.
Yes.
So it's easy thing. We have all the information out there. You can browse all of our homes, as you said. You look at. You'll have to go look at our Palm Springs homes, and we've got FAQs out on there. Everything you need to know to make you feel like this is a good option for myself, my family, my friends.
I love that. Wonderful. So yeah, I guess that kind of wraps it up. Is there like a main office that anybody could visit if they were like going to look in different areas, I guess would be my next question.
No, we are a completely 100% remote company.
Yeah.
Even before the whole COVID thing.
Wow, that's
we were
cool.
started that way.
Yeah.
And that's primarily because, as I said, each one of our homes has a home manager, operations. So we're just really dispersed by nature of the business and of the company. Company founded actually here in the Napa Valley.
I love that.
Our founder lives here. He does share his time between here and Cabo. He branches out all over the place as well, as you could imagine.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. But it was founded here. So I think a lot of folks, kind of congregate in different areas. But by nature, we have somebody everywhere. But that's what's cool about the product as well, is we have somebody that can serve you no matter which market you're in, wherever you are at. We're there for you.
Great. Yeah, we didn't even really talk about that. There's several Napa homes as well on there. Yeah.
Very many.
Which would be fun to, a lot of people here, maybe that's too close because we're like a hop, skip, and a jump away. But maybe for anybody whose family would be interested in buying a share there and then being close.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. We actually just had an owner that we were working with. He lives in San Diego, and his Pacaso is in San Diego. And everyone's like, why? He's like, you know what? We just like having something a little closer to the beach.
Yeah.
And when our friends and family come in, now we have a home we can go.
Oh, that's cool.
Like basically host.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That is amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. It's a fun conversation. I love talking about it. Any questions, go to Pacaso.com.
Great.
We're here.
I could talk about this all day. I could also look at photos of these houses all day.
Me too.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
If you like what you hear, please be sure to like and subscribe, learn more about Sonoma County and all that we have to offer here.